Good morning. Welcome to Natasha Makes. I'm hoping we're live on Facebook. I think we are. I think we might be. Elizabeth's there. She's been on fine form this morning with her jokes. Helen is there. Helen, my Helen's husband plays the bagpipes. Yeah, she posted a video of him doing so the other night. I made the mistake of watching it. So I had Emily in my arms just as she was going off to sleep with the volume a little too high. Yeah, she didn't stay asleep for too long after that. So that's my learning there. Don't watch bagpipes when your child is just going off to sleep. Claire's joined us. Good morning. Christine's here. Joe's here. Hello, hello, hello. Anne's here. Tim's here. Good morning. Sheena's with us. Kim's with us. Good morning to you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's amazing. It's always nice when stuff actually works. Yeah. Oh, hello, Linda. Hello. Join us, do. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Natasha Makes, like I say. Today is the show name. I don't think we have to think of show names to put on like YouTube and stuff like that. And I realised I had quite a lot of blue fabric. I love blue. You might have guessed. And so I called it Bolt from the Blue. And that was a team choice. There were quite a lot of suggestions. We went with Bolt from the Blue because we've got a lot of bolts and they're blue. You know, that's to explain the pun. That's bad, isn't it, when you have to actually explain it? Oh, morning, Laurie. Nice to see you there. So that was what happened. And then, so all of the fabrics, bar one collection, are blue. And the only reason that happened was because I was on the phone to Emma this morning, accounts Emma, best friend Emma, who, I don't know why I didn't realise this, after over 20 years of friendship, goes, you know, I don't like blue. What? Like, everybody loves blue. She's like, no, I don't like blue, I like reds. And when I actually stopped to think about it, yeah, every single house she's lived in, she's had like reds and purples and pinks and greens. I was like, oh, okay. So there's one nod to Emma and anybody like Emma who doesn't like blue. But otherwise, we're all about the blues today. And we're doing the storage boxes. You'll have to excuse me if I lean a bit today. I had the great idea that because I'm working so hard at the moment, yoga would be great to reintroduce into my life. Turns out it's really not. So yeah, that was my findings there. Yeah, everything kind of hurts a bit, so it's all good. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning to you too. Oh, look at you all watching. Right, okay, Gemma's just joined us. So SJ says, no, blue is great. Exactly. Especially when it comes in these kind of blues. I have to say, I didn't make this one, and I didn't make this one. They are made by Gemma, my friend Gemma, who's on total lockdown. That's what happens when you have health stuff, isn't it? They put you on total lockdown. She's not even allowed to take out her bins. I think that was like the only good bit of it, was she was allowed to take out her bins. So she's been making a few little bits for me, and I wanted her to pattern test this because this isn't my pattern today. This is from a company called Sally Tomato. I told Freddie it was a Sally. He said, is this your pattern, Mummy? I said, no, it's Sally Tomatoes. And he just laughed at me, and I was like, yeah, no, I guess that's fine. If you're 5 or 6, that is quite funny. See, Ali loves blue too. Thank you. As does Elaine. Right, Emma, you are in the minority. Not that I'm starting a... Gemma, OMG, Emma. I'm sorry, Emma. Look, she's got great taste, lovely taste, just not blue. I've opened a whole can of worms, haven't I now, this morning? Jan says reds all the way. I've got one kind of like pinky red for you, Jan. You're all right today. You can thank Emma for that. Anyway, these are the small and the medium sizes in the boxes. The pattern is from a company called Sally Tomato. You know the ones where I get the zips from? That I have to ship all the way from America, and Emma has a heart attack because I sent her the, import tax. And she says, how much? I go, but they're really pretty. It's fine, right? My next shipment, by the way, of Sally Tomato zips are on the way, which is fabulous. Very excited about that. All sorts of colours. So today I'm going to show you how to make the storage boxes. I was worried about making them because Gemma said she'd sworn quite a lot. But it turns out it's not that bad. It's actually, it was I whipped one up in under an hour, so it's okay, it's all right. I think the swearing happened with the handle, and I've got a little hack for that, so don't worry. You will not have to use any choice language today. Hopefully. Yeah, don't look at the stitching on this one. It was made in quite a hurry because I was trying to work out what would happen with directional fabrics. The thing that happened with directional fabrics was that Freddie ended up with hot air balloons in a bit of a blustery mess. So but then he demanded that I finish it. I wasn't going to finish it, and then he demanded I finish it because he wanted somewhere to put his pterodactyl, which I still can't work out starts with an S. How does pterodactyl start with this? Anyway, we digress. So yeah, he was challenged with tidying his bedroom this morning and decided that the small dinosaurs would go in that one, and then the larger dinosaurs would go in this. And this is a gorgeous Liberty print today, and all of the fabrics I've put in 1/2 meter bundles so that you can make 1 medium-sized one and 2 little ones. And the only reason that I haven't gone with the big one is because this was 2 inches too narrow. So what I will do, now I know how to make these, because I made a few now, I will redo the measurements and work out what the biggest sizes that you can fit in with this. This is on the website. Oh! The website is natashamakes.com, www.natashamakes.com. That's where everything is for you to buy. I've got 20 of these here, and the rest are in transit on their way here. So the first 20 of you to order, yours can go out like today, tomorrow. No, it will be tomorrow, because that's when the process will come through. The orders will come through for me. With each of the handles, Sally Tomato recommends doing in cork. I was like, I don't have any cork. And then I rummaged in, I have a whole cupboard of unusual fabrics. And I found a whole load of cork I didn't even know I had. Don't know where it came from, no idea. But I've chopped it up into the required amounts. And I've got 30 of these. So the first 30 of these that go out, I will whack some cork for the handles, because I don't expect you. But I didn't put handles on that one, so I don't think it matters. You can have handles, not have handles. You can do it with whatever you like. Pleather's nice, or just some of the fabric also would be lovely. So this is the Bozor. I hadn't worked with this until this morning, and I have to say, I am really impressed. Really impressed. Where has this been all my life? Where has this been? It's fusible. I really rate it. Gemma did as well when she tried it. She's sort of my guinea pig, and she was like, yeah. She said, and as she worked with it more, she realised she could give it more welly. So she was very impressed with just how much welly it would take. So I had people asking, is this cardboard? What's it made of? No, it is this. It is Bozor. It is single-sided fusible. It's a heavyweight stiffness, but sews like a dream. Absolutely fab. Now, I'm sure that if you wanted to do soft wobbly versions, then you can. And you know, last week we had the pouch kits. Oh, bending, ouch. Yeah, that hurts quite a bit. And I had rolls of wadding that went in each of the kits. In fact, I've managed to load a few more of these because I had a few, and so this is the other colourway that I've loaded on the website for anybody that wanted the stripe pouch with your cafe. There you go, they're those. You get the zips, you get the wadding, a great roll of wadding, and you get your full instructions there. I've got a handful of those left. But I had lots of people saying, do you have any more of that wadding? And the answer was no, and the answer today is yes, I've got some in. So let me explain what it is. The sizes will vary a little bit for the simple reason that these are the end of bolts. Okay, and this is the end of a king size bolt. So it's just over 150 centimetres wide. It's like superdy doopity doopity wide, ridiculously wide. Now this one is about, yeah, that's about 87 centimeters wide. So, you know, you can get a few like lap quilts and stuff out of that. That's absolutely fine. Or your craft projects, lap quilts, baby quilts, anything like that. Cushions as well, great for cushions, all those sorts of things. Some of these are 80-20, some of these are bamboo cotton mix. It's really just luck of the draw. So I've popped them on the website under the deals page. Were they £7.99 or £7.50, something like that? Really not expensive at all. But they're on there. So if you want to get a whole load of wadding so that you've just got it, you can wad your pouches, you can, you know, you've always then got wadding at a really inexpensive price. And here's the thing, if today you spend over £50, I'll take £5 off your shopping basket. Okay, that will just happen automatically at checkout. So actually then, if you've added that in, that works out being £2.50. It's not bad, is it? Or £2.99. I can't remember if it went on at £2.50 or £7.50 or £7.99. But anyway, under £3. So that's just a little aside, but I've only got 20 of those. So when they're gone, they're gone. But again, all of these things are on the website. Let's look at fabric. Before we go any further, next week, a heads up for next week. So those of you that do like reds and warm tones, look what I've got my hands on. Conveniently stored in my lovely storage pot. Yes, 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 Jo Morton Moda fabrics. So this will be next week's show. I've got pre-cuts, I've got jelly rolls, I've got little 2.5-inch squares. They are super, super duper cute. And I have got fat quarter bundles for you from Moda, from yes, from Jo Morton. So that will be next week's show. And we'll be having a play with all the things you can do with pre-cuts. And to give you an idea of some of the said things that you can do with pre-cuts, how about little pot holders? They're rather cute, aren't they? Or what about making it into a little table mat? So all of these things are possible and will be available to do next week. There you go. So for those that love your reds, you are not forgotten. Oh, I can stuff all of that in there, can't I? Lovely. So that'll be next week. I'm organised. Look at that, organised, thinking ahead. So let's move some of these baskets out of the way so that we can crack on and find you some. Here we go. Let's pop that there. Heather says, where can I find the storage box pattern on your website? Right, so Heather, it's a free download. So what, and I know that a lot of you don't like having to find these things, so it's not my free download to download. It's on the Sally Tomato website. But if for any, that was the other thing I meant to say. Thank you, Heather, for reminding me. Anybody that is buying the Bozal today, I will pop the pattern in with it. I'll just print it off and pop it in. It doesn't cost me anything, just the price of a sheet of paper and print. So I'll do that for you so that you've got that pattern. And if you want it, go and have a look at the Sally Tomato, or I will post the link to that on my website. But it's a free download. You know, sometimes it's just nice, isn't it, not to have to pay for patterns and stuff. So that's that. I thought that would look quite nice with the old Basilin. Not gonna lie. And then Freddy's dinosaurs. So that was my learning. Don't use directional fabric for these. You will come unstuck, as I did this morning. I was trying to work it out, and it turns out 4 o'clock in the morning is not the right time to be working out sums and directions and all that kind of stuff. The amount you are getting here is 20 inches by 36 inches, which is why I went with 1/2 metre bundles, because that then works, doesn't it? I cut all of my fabric that I send out to you to 20 inches, not to your traditional 1/2 metre, just because I sell it as a 1/2 metre, but that extra centimetre there means that I never undercut. So you will have your 20 inches by 36, which means that You can get out of your Bozal one of the medium ones and two of the small ones, which I think is rather lovely. Yeah. Oh, Christine says that's her order done. Yeah, sit back and relax. And don't forget, if you go over £50, we'll take £5 off. Okay, so this is fusible, would you believe? So one side is kind of rough and the other is smoother, and you want to go with the rough side to fuse. I'm going to... Oh, there's a lot of bending going on today. Bear with me. Whoop, going down. Ah! With sound effects. Yeah, do some yoga, they say. It'll be really good for your back, they say. Nope. Ah, there we go. I'm back. I'm back. Right, okay. So, oh, the fabrics. Haven't shown you the fabrics. Where's my head at today? Right, Moda. I've got woven fabric. So this isn't, the check on these isn't printed on, it's woven through. So it's actually the colour of the thread that is the weave. So they are from the apple pie range and they're really lovely, really lovely. So all of these fabrics today I've priced at $13.99, which is great value for designer fabrics for $13.99. I thought that was a good old price. So that is, yeah, that's your Moda, that's your apple pie. And then if we stick with Moda, this is the Summer Breeze collection. So I've also tried to go with contrasting fabrics. And these are all pre-cut now to 1/2 meter lengths. Beautiful roses, aren't they? And then you've got your ditzy there. So I thought that would work very nicely as well. And then Liberty. A metre of Liberty for $13.99. What is going on there? And this was the one that I did Freddie's box out of. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this fabric. Love, 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 love it. So he's going to be getting a few more of these, I have to say. Absolutely adore that. But again, that's $13.99. Then this is a Tilda Moda combo. So I've stuck 1/2 metre of the apple pie fabric there with the roses there, and I just think that is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that was what Gemma made her demo one out of. And then because it's rather gorgeous, and this just reminded me of my mum's blue and white china growing up, I've put, now this is Tilda Dove White. It's a beautiful, beautiful dove white, which goes exactly with that background there. Otherwise, it's quite tricky to catch the same sort of cream. But that is, so, and also you've got the Tilda quality fabric in the cotton on both of those. So that's really lovely. And then my nod to Emma this morning was in having, look, you've got the rose again, that beautiful rose, but this time you've got it with a little, it says it's pink, but it's a really deep pink, so could class as red spot there. So they are your fabric options. And again, it's $13.99 for both. So it's a metre of fabric for $13.99. There we go. Right. So which one do we want to work with? Any ideas? Anyone? What do you fancy? Which ones do you fancy? Hang on. Let's just see. Let's see, shall we? Oh, Gemma says, feel your pain. My back was painful yesterday. Oh, yeah. And then spent too long using her electric back massager. Now feels like she's been beaten up. Yeah. Good. The Tildas are beautiful. I agree completely. Oh, Sally says, I've made them as craft bags with straps. Oh, that's a good idea. Ali Sutton Moore, she ordered before the discount. Okay. SJ will sort that out. I will honour that because it's only fair. So if there's anything else that you wanted, we can sort that out. SJ, can you be on standby, please? I don't think she'll be the only one there. Okay, so We've done fabrics. Have we decided what colour fabrics to go with? Roses and cream. Roses and cream. Blue roses. Roses and cream. Roses and cream. Let's do these then. Classic. Absolutely beautiful. Shall I show you the largest size? You can get the I say largest, out of the two that we've made, which is down on the instructions as being the medium. And here we go. So it is, you need to cut, and you've got a layout and everything. So the stabilizer is 15 by 21 inches. So let's have a little look at doing that then, shall we? 15 by 21. Good. This is where I'm very grateful for this, I have to say. What was that? What did I just say? Oh, do you know what? My brain today, as soon as I'm in pain, that's it. I can't remember a thing. Who am I? 15, right, 15. Yes, there you go. Let's move that out of the way so that you can get two little ones out of that. I wonder actually if you could get 15 by... Oh, you see, it's just an inch off being able to get two of the other ones. Have I just cut that the wrong way? 15 by 21 inches. No, I haven't I? I've done it the wrong way. No! Oh, that's a good start to my demo, isn't it? Well done, me. Well done, me. Yes, I have cut that the wrong way. So we're going to do the small one today. I tell you, it's one of those things. Unless, if I just take an inch off the other side, and we'll see how we go. This could be disastrous. Who knows? Who knows? So off my 20, so if I take an inch off that side, this may or may not work, people. We'll see. Or should I just play safe and start again? It won't be square, that's all. It just won't be square. Right, okay. We'll still mark everything up the same. All right, let's get the fabric then. Well, okay, if this works, then you'd be able to just downsize by 2 inches the other fabric, the other box, and get it to fit so you could get 2 big boxes out of that. Right, let's go here, and let's go here. You know, when it's not your pattern, and when it's my pattern, it's fine. It's my pattern. I know exactly what I'm doing. Right, here we go. I thought to myself before I started this morning, highlight the numbers because it gives you in the pattern 3 different amounts. I thought I'll just highlight and then couldn't find my highlighter. So that would have been more sensible. That would be my recommendation, is to colour code it. Right, let's start again, shall we? 15. So on the medium, you have to cut, 15 inches. So actually, there you go, there's your fabric there. And then, well, it's going to be by 20, isn't it now? Oh no, I was going to take an inch off. Oh. It's all going so well this morning. So well. I bet you're glad you tuned in to this woman who just can't work out any kind of maths this morning. Right. I just did that, didn't I? I just took an inch off. Right. And then off this one. And then we're good to go. Does anybody else have days like that? Please tell me I'm not alone. Right. Let's do this. Beep, 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 beep. And then we want to make, this is, Do we want to do rows on the outside? Do we? In which case I've cut it the wrong way. I'm doing all of this wrong, aren't I? Right. Don't try and hurry this. Yeah, right. The outside has to be longer. That is now 20 inches by 14. Right, that one is correct. So let's start with this, shall we? And then we'll work out what we do. Work out what we do with that later. So let's pop this onto here. I've managed to cut 2 as well. Go me. I was fine until I cut the extra inch off and I cut the fold off. Right. Here we go. Here we go. So this just needs a little press, the bobbly side up. Morning, is it okay to use Alistair's ironing mat on top of the cutting mat? I do, Sharon, it's entirely up to you. But I don't when, this is really sturdy actually, so actually I probably should put an ironing mat underneath it. 2 things, I do, but I don't if I'm using steam or any kind of like best press spray or anything like that, I don't. Then, just because I don't want the moisture, it would just be the moisture that was going down. The heat, it just doesn't get very hot underneath the mat because it's wool and it just sort of pushes it back up. So that's fine, but it is entirely your choice. I've used it on mine to no problem. Alistair's always used his on his, but he doesn't use steam either. So I wouldn't if you were using steam. But again, it's personal preference. Yeah, really. Okay, so you just press this on. And it's just going to need, it does fuse really easily. This is where having a smaller iron just takes a little bit longer. Dink, 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 dink. So we'll do the outside bit, then I will go and find find some other fabric to massacre in a minute. Oh, it's all going so well. Okay, so for the medium one, I now need to put on some marks, and these are going on the outside. This is with a water erasable, better check that, water erasable pen, and I am going to go down the sides by 4 inches. 4 inches. And so you mark this, and it feels really weird, not gonna lie, marking it on the outside, but here we go. Pop that across to there, then you might be able to see better. Swing it around 4 inches down the other side. Again, these are all on the download, but if you've bought any of the Bozor, I will pop it in with that. And then you want 7 inches in. Now this is a 6.5 inch ruler, isn't it? I took an inch off, didn't I? So I was only going to do that. I need to come back up a ½ inch. You see, I should have just started from scratch, shouldn't I? That was my error. I should have just started from scratch. So this may or may not actually work. Who knows? And then, okay, so that's fine. That means I can come in at 6.5 inches. There we go. That's fab then, isn't it? So I don't want that line. I'm hoping this will still work. We shall see. We shall see. If it doesn't, then we'll just start from scratch. Is the template available to print off? Yes. Yes, it is. Right, so you basically go down these lines, sew on there. So just sew on those lines, which is nice and easy. She will tell you the stitch length. I think she wants it on a 3 when you stitch down here. And yeah. So my hope is that as I've taken an inch off both sides, that this will work. If it doesn't, then that's on me, because her measurements work perfectly. Now feeling slightly nervous. But yeah, no, hers worked brilliantly. And down we go. And you can use, I've got a contrast thread in so that you can see. I don't know why that's, oh, there we go. And in a moment I will get my little water pen out and see whether or not this pen is truly water erasable. Haha, we shall see. I was just thinking before we came to air, I really must work out how much smaller you would need to make everything to fit it all on the bozal. Why are you not stitching? What have I? Oh, I've run out of bobbin again. Hey, do you know what? Today just gets better and better, doesn't it? Go me. Go me. That's why there was that great long piece of thread. Bear with me, caller. Bear with me. I really need to start checking this. I don't know about you, but I'm not one of those people that will load onto a bobbin when it's already got colour on. I know I look at some people's bobbins and they've got like 3 different colours on. They're like, I just need this for a project, so I'll just whack that on. And I can't do it. I have to have a bobbin that is dedicated to that one colour. It's all right with this machine, it just does it all for me, so that's fab. Let me get rid of that thread. How many of those did I actually just not sew? Oh, it's all right, just those 2 short ones. That is fine, that is fine. So today, obviously raining horribly outside, so good job really to be indoors doing all these sorts of things. Poor old Freddie's been made to tidy his bedroom. He was not impressed with that situation, I'm not going to lie. And then his little eyes lit up when I said, but you can have one of these when you've done it. And that was when the dinosaurs got put in. That started him off tidying up his bedroom quite quickly, which was nice. He's a lucky boy, isn't he? I mean, gosh, being given liberty stuff to tidy your bedroom up with. Very lucky boy indeed. Here we go. Right, that's that all done. You see, really, it's never the end of the world, is it? Not with these machines. Here we go. What I will do before I cut up any more fabric and get stuff wrong, I will just double check that this actually works. Otherwise, we're just going to be starting the whole thing from scratch. You know what else I need, don't you? And that is, what have I done with it? What have I done with it? My water pen. What have I done with it? Ah, here. Have you seen these? has that got any water left in it? This is why. Ah, there we go. There we are. Steam from your iron as well would just take those marks out. That. Okay, so that bobbin stopped part way. I'll have to go back in and stitch that. Hooray! Something's worked this morning. My water erasable pen is water erasable. It's the little things, isn't it, in life? Make it all good. All good. Yeah, there we go. Right. Bit more water on there. Dink, dink, dink. And that will get rid of that. Come on. Oh, it's nearly out of water. Well, that's typical, isn't it? Is there any more in the lid or anything I can eke out anywhere? There we go. Beautiful. There we are. Right, I needed to just stitch down that bit, didn't I, from where the bobbin came undone. We're nearly there. Nearly there. There we go. Now then, moment of truth, this, isn't it? Whether or not this is going to work, who knows? Right, okay. So we've top stitched the exterior fabric to the foam. That's what we've just done. You would use one, there we go. You would use, obviously, a thread that would coordinate. I've done it so that you can see it. And then, oh, it says put on a walking foot. I didn't. Well, you can see I haven't. With right sides together, fold the exterior half, matching the short sides. There we go. And then I know it's going to want me to stitch down here. It wants me to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I don't have a 1/2 inch marker. So what I'm going to do is just do that. And that. This is the joy of creative grids, by the way, is that I know that I've got an easy 1/2 inch marking there. I know I'm going to have to trim that back. So let's go to the machine and stitch. What stitch length does it want me to do it? Oh, a 2.5. Well, mine goes up in 0.2 millimetre increments. So let's go back down to a 2.6. That will do. If you are worried, whack a jeans needle, something nice and sharp in. And I've done it so that I'm going from the crease outwards. If you want to go back and just reinforce those stitches, that's fine. But honestly, I didn't need a walking foot, but this also comes down to knowing your machine. And I know that with my Juki, I know that it will work beautifully. Possibly unlike my demo. Right, then trim back to, there we go, take that 1/4 inch off. So trim back to a 1/4 inch seam. We're just reducing bulk. The reason I think, because you've got a thick stabilizer in there, it would be very easy to go wibbly wobbly if you're going on a small 1/4 inch. So I think she's gone wider so that you can then just trim everything back. This is going to be the moment of truth, isn't it, as to whether or not I've done this right. So next up, you want to get these corners where they cross over. Let me show you here. You're going to fold from there. Come on, come on, come on. You're going to fold from there across to here on the other side. So you're basically boxing the bottom. So put your hand in and flatten it like that. So that's how it was. And then flatten it like that. And you'll fold from that edge to there. It's going to take a little bit of zhuzhing, which I will do on my mat. There we go. Right. So this is what I mean. This is really, really, really versatile stuff. I've really enjoyed working with it. Really enjoyed working with it. And it can be, you can really fold it out the way and it just springs back. You absolutely don't have to worry about it at all. Now then, is this going to work? Have I bodged this by changing those measurements? That is what I am asking myself. So just pull it back until you can get your finger on there. Pull it back to get your finger on there, and then just flatten it out. Now I have a feeling that this is not working because I changed, haha, yes, I changed the width, didn't I? So we'll go with what we've got and we'll see how we go. But this is entirely my fault. Yeah, look, I'm ½ an inch off on both of those, and that's just because I've changed. This is on me, I've changed that. When you do it, and you just sew along that line, when you do it, you will not be bodging everything. Yeah, so today's show findings are that it does actually matter. Yeah, and go with what you are told. Here we go. Whee! So it won't be quite the shape that we were planning. Bit nervous now. Lesson of the day, stick to the instructions. Yeah, absolutely. Claire says it looks fine so far. Yeah. It's things like when, it's a good catch, wasn't it? And again, trim those edges back. It's just not, it's going to be a different shape, basically, isn't it? Might not be a square one, but we'll see. Adventures in craft with me. Right. Now, you see you can turn that through. This is what I mean, it's great stuff. It just bendy. And do you mind, I followed the instructions perfectly this morning, but it's different when I'm chatting. Just left my own device, it's absolutely fine. Yes, you can just see my stitch line, but you would have done that beautifully. And then you can go back in. If with all the rummaging, this is creased a little bit, you can go back in and just press it back on if you want to, and it does, it goes back on beautifully. So if it gets a little bit wrinkly from where you've had to manipulate it, you can just go back in and just press. It's fine. Right, I am going to go and get some more of that cream fabric because I got the wrong size, didn't I? Go me. Right, we're going to pretend that nobody saw that, and I will be back in just 2 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves. Where did I put it? There it is. There it is. Is that the right one? Yes, it is. Right, now then, I'm not going to cut a full ½ metre. Oops. Right, let's go back to the instructions at the beginning. I should have cut this. I have to take off an inch, don't I, off each side now. My lining should be 15 by 23. It's now going to be 14 by 22. Goodness knows what this is going to look like at the end. 14 by 22. I don't get nervous for my shows at all. Until now. Until it's somebody else's pattern and I've bodged it a little bit. But do you know what? In the interests of let's see, because I very much doubt I will be the first person who's ever gone, oh no, I was chatting and didn't read the instructions properly. I'm not going to be the first, am I? At all. Right, let's take off those edges. I've done it again. I'm chatting again. I've got to take off an inch, haven't I? Is that what I just said? So instead of it being 15, it's going to be 14 by 22. My best recommendation for you is stick to the instructions, because then it all goes swimmingly and you won't have to feel horribly nervous that you're going to bodge somebody else's demo. But on the plus side, every day's a school day, right? What do we got here? Don't worry, looks great so far. Well, thank you. Emma's just giving everyone the link to the pattern. Like, don't watch her. Just have a link to the pattern and work it out from there. Now, on this on this side, I am going to mark a quarter of an inch, half an inch rather, from the top. Because you are told later on to fold over by half an inch from the top. So I'm going to mark that in now whilst I'm putting in all my markings. And then I'm going to show you for why. Now then, if I turn over the page, here we go. These are what I need this to be now. So 4 inches I need to take off, don't I? So it's going to be 3.5. Thank goodness for creative grids. That's all I can say. 3.5 inches there. And then 3.5 inches bing, there. And instead of it being 8, it's going to be 7.5. That's annoying. That means I can't use this ruler, doesn't it? Let's go on the mat instead. 7.5 inches is there. Luckily, the ruler is long enough to go the width of my mat. And spin it around. Take into account that that bit is folded. So yeah, marking is quite important. Marking it correctly. Oh, it's got that little bit of fold on there. How annoying. There we go. 7.5 on there. And we're all good. I'm going to line that up on there as well. Yep, we are all lined up correctly. There we go. Right. So follow the instructions and you will get your grid like that. And then you've got to fold over half an inch on here. Now what I did was I marked half an inch and then I got a handy piece of paper. This is my cheat, okay? This is a total cheat, and I don't know, you can get like proper things that do this, but actually a piece of paper does just as well. And I just use that as my guide to hold over and press. And I'll do that the other end. This extra bit on the edge, by the way, is your, what does she call it? Your faux fold overy bit. She doesn't call it a faux fold overy bit. Gosh, I only hear geese flying overhead. Wonder what on earth the noise was. Oh, exciting news in the McCarthy household. Stephen said to me the other day, we could really do with some more chickens. Well, I didn't need asking twice, did I? No. So the incubator and the eggs arrive this week. Exciting times. That's my little cheat for that bit. And that's a cheat that does work because I tried it earlier. Now then, what do I need to do next? Because my mind's gone completely blank. So press that in wrong sides, right sides together. So that's folded onto the wrong side, right sides together. There we go. Fold that on there. And again, we are going to sew down half an inch. If you don't have, the other thing that you can do is on your machine, you can put some of that low tack tape stuff on to mark a 1/2 inch seam allowance. But I couldn't find mine this morning, so I thought, you know what? I've got a ruler which shows me 1/2 inch really clearly. So why not just use that and stop being so lazy? So that's what I did. I marked my 1/2 inch seam allowance on there. Bink. Okay. Quick worker before he changes his mind about the chicks. Yeah, absolutely. What make are your plain fabrics, please? Wait. Oh, Gemma says, I'm so glad you messed around with the sizings. Yeah. Which planes, Jennifer? Which planes are we talking about? This plane is Tilda. This is her Tilda solid colours, and it's absolutely exquisite. It knocks every other plane that I've ever worked with into a cocked hat. It's absolutely beautiful. And it does spoil you for any other planes. The planes that went out yesterday, are they? Oh, who are they by? Are they Peacock Fabrics, maybe? I don't know, I'm having a little play. It's what fabrics I can get hold of at the moment is one thing. So, but this plain here, yeah, this is beautiful. And it kind of makes me not want to work with any other plain. But the trouble is, you know, these are not, normally your plains are your bread and butter, aren't they? And they're not expensive fabrics. But as soon as you whack a Tilda one in, it does put the price up a bit. But you get what you pay for. And it's exquisite quality. Right. Then we are going to do exactly what... Oh, trim back, trim back, trim back. Here we go. So Gemma, are you trying to turn this into a positive that I've completely changed all the things? But at the end of this, if we work out that you can just take an inch off everything and it still work out into some sort of something, then that would mean that you could get the biggest size onto the bozal. Now, of course, what we had last time was that situation, didn't we, where I boxed the corners. It wasn't going to go quite where it needed to be. So what I will do is just make sure that I repeat that same. So basically, where I messed up with it before, I will make sure I do it the same the other way. Basically. And I think that's, you know, that's the only fair thing to say, is that whatever you do to one, you do with the other. And just hope it works. We're committed now anyway, aren't we? We're nearly an hour in, very much committed. So let's just take that in there, trim that back. That was that one there. Trim that back. And then this then sits into here. Now this might be the bit that's a bit wobbly. Aha, no, so far so good. So you match up your seams and then you just flip that over. By that 1/2 inch, you just flip it over all the way around. Like so. There you go, it didn't matter, it's just not quite square, that's all, it just isn't quite square. Whew, thank goodness for that. Disaster averted, everybody. There we go, or you have to just stand your ground stand firm when it comes down to, yeah, it's just that boxing that's just slightly out. That's all. But there we go. And now actually I can't put grey round there. I'm going to have to change my top thread at least. Bear with me, bear with me. Yeah, because everything else I can sort of bear. But that's so pretty, actually. I will be using that elsewhere. So let's actually do a proper job, shall we? And do that. Right. I have to say, I've really enjoyed making these. Really enjoyed it. Some of you know, at school I was always considered borderline dyslexic. Not enough to have, you know, extra time on exams, but I just read things wrong all the time. And so for me, but when I do read something properly, it stays in my head. So for me, other people's, I'm more of a visual learner. So other people's instructions, if they're heavily written, oh, I dread it, and I will put off having to do something if it involves other people's written instructions. I was that one child at school. You know, they always tell you at the start of the exam to read all the exam questions first so that your brain can start working on them. I did, and it did make a difference. Really did make a difference. Right. I tell you what else makes a difference, and that is at this point she says, because we're just going to top stitch around the top of the of that. And put on a walking foot. That's what she says to do. Pop on a walking foot. So line your seams up down the side. That's easy enough to do. Clip it if you want to. And if you want to measure and make sure that you're 1/2 inch over the edge, then do. I'm just going to go for it. Go for it. Caution to the wind. Oh, what's the other thing that I would do? Oh yeah, take off this bit here as well. What a mess I've made everywhere. There we go. And yeah, you can really get in and squidge it out the way. And yeah, if you want to, when you do this, then measure it all and clip it all into place and make sure that it's all soupity doopity, then do that. But I'll be honest, my back really hurts and I need to sit down, so I'm not I'm not doing that this morning. Here we go. So slow and steady around this bit, and I can see that I've pulled my lining over a little bit too far here, but that's why you would clip it. If you do want a slightly wider lining, of course, you can just add extra onto the pattern. Once you've made a couple, you'll work out how to do it. There we go. Round you go. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. We are almost there. You could always mock it up with card first or paper and just check that all your foldings work if you do want to change the sizes. Whoop. There we are. Here we go. So, there you go. That is, yeah, you see, I'll just unpick that stitch line there. That can come out and then it's all fine. One storage box. Ta-da! Made. Oh, hello. What's going on here? Hello? Are we all right? Yeah.
There's a minute silence at 11 o'clock for COVID victims.
Oh, there's a minute silence, is there?
Yes.
Now?
Yeah.
We'll do a minute silence.
11.
Right, we're on. A minute. Thank
All
you.
right, okay.
Bye-bye. Oh, it's a good job Emma told me. Yeah, do you know, it is a sign of the times, and I didn't realise. I don't watch the news at the moment because it's just far too depressing. So thank you, Emma, for letting me know about the minute silence. That's what that was all about. If you're like, oh, shut up for a minute. Yeah. So then, just to finish off, if you want to add your handle, now is the time. And that is just 2 inches by 6 inches of your cork folded in half, and then you just stitch 1/8 of an inch in from each side so that it ends up with that. Now it gives you all of the measurements, the placement lines, so that it will go basically like that on there, and then you can try and angle it under your machine. I'm not going to put the handles on this because I want that for another project, but what I would say is I would actually, rather than trying to faff and get this all under the machine to stitch it once it's all squared off, I would pop it on before you sew. I'd do it much earlier. I'd do it before you sewed those two side seams. So that's when I would put it on. To finish off the corners, all you do is find where they are, pinch them, and then I kept my zipper foot on and just sewed. I'll show you exactly where I sewed. Just sew in like 1/8 of an inch just along there, and I will swap my zipper foot over to the other side so that the main body of the bag is that side, but I can use the angle of that zipper foot, and all this is doing is just helping to just reinforce where those corner bits are. So I do, yeah, opposites first. Dink, dink, dink. I'll actually go around and do it. Oh, hello, my foot's stuck on that. There we go. Yes, so in changing the measurements, what I've done is make it no longer square, and it's just ever so slightly rectangular, but I don't think it matters. It just shows that whatever you're working with, it will work. Dink, dink, dink. Next two, and then it's done. You see, I started off being ever so good, didn't I? And oh, there we go. There it is. So you can see what that's done is just give you definition on those corners. And then if we just bring it in here, then there it is. That's your box made and ready for filling. Hooray! That's the medium size. Well, sort of. It only changes slightly. And what I'll do is I'll just unpick that line of stitches later so that that's gone and take off my wire washable pen. And that's that. So yeah, now we know that's, oh, and those little threads, snip those off. But it really is, it's a nice little make. It's an easy make. It means that you can get some beautiful colour in your home. Pop pant in it, or your fabrics, or dinosaurs, as we have in our household. Or just whatever. We always need to tidy stuff, don't we? So there you go. So just to recap, I think Emma's added a link onto underneath the comments page on Facebook as to where you can find the link to the pattern, and I will, can we pop that on the website as well? I think so. But if you've bought the bozo, I will just print it off and pop it in with your order, along with the first 30 of you will also get a strip of cork so that you can do the handles should you wish. Read this. Read the instructions and cut the fabric correctly. That always helps. And if you do that, then you will get a medium and 2 small ones out of your packets. Right. So yeah, they're quick, easy makes. Have a look at the fabrics. The fabrics are all online. Everything is at www.natashamakes.com. And if you click on Watch Live at the top left-hand side, then underneath where you can watch live, underneath are all the products that you've seen on today's show. So all the fabrics and the bozo and the wadding as well that we had, that's all on there. And remember, if you're spending £50 today, then you will get £5 off. If you've already spent that before we came to where and you didn't realise, then email info@natashamakes.com. That's where any questions should go. I know some of you have tried to message me on Facebook. At the moment I am so overwhelmed with getting shows and everything. I've basically, because of what's going on, a lot of the suppliers are just sending their stuff to me first so that I know I've got it before I then send out. And that's how I'm trying to do it with a lot of suppliers, because delivery times were so all over the place. So it means that I'm having to fulfill, normally would be direct dispatch, I'm having to fulfill a lot of orders at the moment. So I'm not having time to go on Facebook. So please don't message me there. It's info@natashamakes.com if you have any questions about your order, or, you know, like the £50 thing today, or if you've just got any questions, then that's great. But we do have a lovely community online, so do post your pictures of what you've been making. We always love to see those as well. And remember, next week is going to be, we're not blues next week, we're all about those warm colours next week, so Emma will be happy. So next week will be diddly diddly dee Joe Morton, which is lovely. It's like your classic, isn't it? Beautiful, really rich warm tones. That's what that will be, and we've got that in pre-cuts. I love these little 2.5 inch. We're going to have to think of something very cool for those. We will also be having fat quarters and jelly rolls, which I haven't really brought to you much before. Let's see. Yes, Christine, we did the minute silence. Oh, minute silence. The minute silence was for COVID victims. I didn't know about it because I don't watch the news. Thank goodness Emma did. And oh, Joanne, her sewing machine is poorly, so she's just enjoying watching. Oh, Elizabeth, someone did give me a nudge. There you go. By my clock in here, we did it at 11. By my clock in here, I don't know who else's clock to go for. Yeah, I did it. I didn't know about it. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And yeah. Thank you for joining me. I will be here again next Monday. Don't forget that Thursdays are now going to be, which we launched yesterday on a Monday, but just so that we could tell you about it. Thursdays will be our half metre heaven. So every Thursday, look out for 2 half meters for £9.99. It will be sort of something like a plain and a patterned is what we'll do for that. So one will be designer and one will just be a plain something. But today's fabrics were all designer, all gorgeous, all designers. So make the most of those. I mean, you've got Liberty in there today for £13.99, 2 half meters of Liberty in there. So do take a look at those. It's all on the website underneath where you can watch us live. Yeah, all right. Have a lovely rest of the week, and I will see you next Monday. So take care and stay safe. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.